Go ahead and set the car in neutral, apply the parking brake, turn off the car, and then go ahead and pull down this piece right here. Can't do it with your fingers, do it with the tool. And then remove the clip. Take the shift knob off. Put the clip back on. And go ahead and set that aside. Next step, we're gonna go ahead and remove this center shifter panel. So go ahead and lift up the armrest compartment and pull straight up. There's going to be a couple connections underneath this panel. So go ahead and undo those connections. This one seems to have some ambient lighting installed. So I'll find out how to uninstall that in a little bit. But the main connectors you're going to find is this one right here. So go ahead and disconnect this one. And go ahead and disconnect this one. These are the two primary ones. Again, this one was added after the fact, so this is not going to be part of the installation process, but I'll figure out how to disconnect it. Next step, go ahead and remove these two panels right here. Begin with removing the panel behind it on the driver's side. This one comes off. Like that. On this side. This one you'll just be able to pull forward. I typically don't remove it. It's a little bit hard to remove. But once you have it loose, you'll be able to pull this whole panel out. So bring forward. Start from the bottom. And then work your way up. And then once it's come loose from here, there is a tab in here that's kind of shaped like a hook. So you'll need to pull it down. Let's see if I can show this. It's push up and then downwards. I'll show you what I mean. This is the one I was talking about. So you're gonna need to pull this panel upwards so it can come loose from here first, and then you'll need to push it down so it can come out like that. So that's that side. Let me set this aside. Let me work on this side now. Pull forward towards you, work your way up, and that same hook tab will be behind this. So up, and then you'll be able to pull forward. So when you're pulling this out, up, and then out that way. Next up, let's remove the main control panel right here. It's just two screws that are holding it in, so take off these two screws. Once those two are removed, you'll be able to pull this out towards you. And there's going to be a few connectors behind here that you'll need to disconnect as well. There's this one right here. Go ahead and undo this one. That's one. And then you'll have this one right here. That's two. And then this last one down here. Three. Next up, go ahead and remove this bezel right here. There are 3 screws holding it in place. 1, 2, 3. Once those three screws are removed, pull the panel out towards you. Make your way over. Like that. Next step, let's go ahead and remove this monitor. 2 screws are securing it. 1 and 2. Pull down towards you. And go ahead and undo the connectors behind the monitor. 1, 2. The connectors that you'll find behind the monitor on this row right here will vary if the car has factory navigation, 360. So it just depends on the options in the car. So take a picture if you have to, so you remember which connectors were connected to the monitor. We'll set that aside. Next up, let's go ahead and pull out the radio. Go ahead and pull this panel out first towards you. And loosen it at the bottom. You'll be able to pull it out. There were 1, 2, 3 tabs at the top, and then there was 3 tabs at the bottom. And this, you don't have to completely disconnect. You can just set this to the side so it's not in your way. If you had to, you can go ahead and undo some of the connectors behind here. Just remember to put these connectors back when you're ready to reassemble everything. That one. Can't see this one. There you go, 2. I'll set this one on the side here so it's out of the way. And then pull the radio out towards you. Remember, don't forget about any of the connectors you disconnected from here. Pull the radio out towards you. There's 4 screws that are securing it in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if go ahead and also loosen this connector right here. So it's out of our way for later. Next step, let's go ahead and work on the monitor. I'm gonna apply a screen cover just to protect the screen. So now that that's applied, let's go ahead and remove the brackets. Let's remove the side brackets first. You're gonna need a T20 to remove these. That's one. That's two. Set that aside. This side, 3. And 4. Let's take that off. Now with those removed, go ahead and remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 screws. That aside. Let's work on the top. So now with all of the screws removed, when you're going to take off the back plate, lift this side up first because there is a connector here for the fan. So start from here and lift up this way. Here's that fan. Go ahead and undo this connector right here. And then once you have this removed, let's focus on these ribbon cables right here. So go ahead and take this guy off first. Okay, next let's go ahead and begin the installation of our subboard. This is going to be our subboard right here. If you don't have these connectors, cables connected, go ahead and do so. Let me point out to you. Let me undo these real quick. When you are connecting these cables, they go in a certain position. Let me demonstrate. So make sure you connect these cables first. Start with this one right here. This is for the LVDS cable. The LVDS is going to go right here. It is also labeled LVDS up here. Black, green, and orange. Next is the sub data connector right here. Make sure that this is pushed in all the way in. These notches, this connector has 2 notches and they need to line up with the 2 holes on the connector itself. So make sure it looks like this after you connected it. And lastly is a sub power cable, red, blue, and black. These are 2 right here. These are 2 3-pins. You do not want to mix them, swap them. You want to make sure this one's here and that one's over there. So once you have these two cables connected, because it is two cables, go ahead and prepare it. I would first start with this little ribbon cable right here. Connect that to this port here. Lift up the tab. And then insert the ribbon cable in here. You'll hear it click. And once it's clicked, press on the tab down. And this is what it should look like. Alright, and next step, let's put this down real quick. Let's put our cover on. Route it through here. Then grab your subboard. Let's lift this ribbon cable up. Let's work with this ribbon cable here. Lift this tab up. And then insert the ribbon cable in here. You'll also hear it click. Once it clicks, go ahead and push down on the tab. And this is what it's going to look like. You'll kind of see the barcode just peeking out a little bit. So with that in place, go ahead and route this ribbon cable in through here. This ribbon cable will go to this port over here. Lift this tab up. Slide the ribbon cable in. Make sure it goes in all the way. And then push the tab down. That's how it should look like. The white line should line up with the tab here. Lastly, grab this ribbon cable here. Blue side facing up, doesn't matter which side you use. Connect this guy right here. Push in all the way. And then bring the tab down. That dotted line should also line up with the tab here. Alright, once you have these ribbon cables connected, go ahead and secure the subboard with the 3 plastic rivets. 1. That's 2. That's 3. Then go ahead and insert these guys in here. 1, 2, 3. Once you have these secured, go ahead and bring this OEM board back over. Be mindful of the Bluetooth antenna right here. If it comes loose, it's okay, you can reconnect it. You'll hear it click back into place. Go ahead and set the board down. Route the this cable back in its original position right here. Put the screw back on. And then let's go ahead and reconnect these 3 ribbon cables. So we'll start with this one. This one folds back up. You'll insert it in here. The notches will line up with the little tabs on the side. And then press down. and you'll barely make out the dotted line, which is now underneath the tab. Next is this ribbon cable right here. The tab is already in the up position. We'll slide the ribbon cable in. And then push down on the tab. And that's what it's supposed to look like. Finally, let's connect this ribbon cable over here. Push in on it here. Let me take it back out actually. I'll try it again. You'll hear it click and then push down on the tab like that. Finally, all of the ribbon cables are in place. We put the screw back on, Bluetooth antennas there. Let's go ahead and prepare these cables. This LVDS cable, go ahead and fold it in such a position so the cable can come out on this side over here. And then these, just rest them over here, like that. Let's grab the back plate. Back plate, go ahead and reconnect the fan. Put the plate back over and do it gently. You want to make sure that these cables don't get pinched right here. And to ensure that they didn't get pinched, you should be able to tug on the cables like that. You can see they're not being pinched by this right here. So once that's done, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some screws here on this side just to secure it. Okay. These two cables, again, they're not being pinched. We'll fold over this way. This cable, as I indicated earlier, will come down like this. Once you have these in position, go ahead and grab this bracket and just place it over. So you'll see that this one comes out through this opening right here, and these come out easily through this opening over here. Go ahead and put the 3 screws back on. That's good enough. Finally, go ahead and put the rest of the screws back on so we can finish up. Let's put these back on. Black part will, whoops, this is wrong side. Will be in the upward position like that. One. That's 2. Go over to this side. Three. And 4. That's what the screen should look like. Let's start with the main DCU cable. Go ahead and grab this portion of the cable, route it up through here. And then find the original DCU connectors right here. And it's gonna go to the smaller of the 2 main white ones. This one will connect here. And then go ahead and apply a piece of foam tape to that. That's it. Next is the CarPlay MIC cable. Go ahead and connect this to the second of the 2 original connectors up here. Connect it there. And apply a piece of foam tape to this connection as well. Route the other end of the mic cable down through here. So it can meet up with the other end of the DCU main cable. And just have this ready to connect to the monitor. Next, let's mount the external speaker. I would apply foam tape. Like that. Leave this part exposed. I will rest this speaker actually back in here. There's a space for it in between these 2 air vents, right here and right here. So just put the speaker straight in there. Keep in mind there's a cable in here. You do not want to damage it as you're pushing this in through here. Once you have the speaker located in there, go ahead and route this connector down through here so it can meet up with the other cables right here. Next, let's work with the OEM monitor. These two cables, go ahead and route them in through here so they can meet up with the rest of the cables. That's one, and that's two. Go ahead and pull them through till you get to here. I'm gonna push this in here for now. And this here. Let's go ahead and reconnect all of the connectors to the monitor. We have the blue one first. Let me get closer. Blue goes in. Next is this one, brown and white. We have this cable right here. I don't want to forget about this one. There. The mic cable connects right here. And then finally the DCU main cable right there. Once you have all of that plugged in, go ahead and put the monitor back into its position. And just leave it in place right here. I would go ahead and put a screw in one of these so that way the monitor doesn't come out while you're working down here. Put it on this side. Just leave one screw in there for now. Next, let's work with the iPod cable. iPod cable's the only cable that we're going to connect to the OEM radio. It's not necessary to disconnect everything. Go ahead and set these cables off to the side over here for now. To help you out, go ahead and undo this connector right here. No need to, again, I'll remind you, no need to undo all of the connectors. Just take this one off and then take these off. The reason why I say that is because some of these connectors are the same size. So you do not want to make the mistake of confusing them. So again, just disconnect this one right here. Disconnect this one down here. And this one will connect to our iPod harness. Connect this guy right here. Go ahead and apply foam tape to that. And then connect this end right here, like that. And then go ahead and reconnect the original connector here. And we'll put these cables back over here. Next, let's work with this CarPlay USB cable. The USB portion, go ahead and route it. It's your decision in terms of where you have this located. If possible, it's best to have it in the glove box compartment. For this case, I'm just gonna have it come out right here where this leather trim meets the carpet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and route this down through here. And that way the customer can access it for wired CarPlay or Android Auto. Again, it is important that you leave that accessible to the customer. It's gonna be useful to when we're setting up the phone for the first time. The other end of it, go ahead and find the speaker portion of it and connect the external speaker to it. And then the rest of the cable will join the rest of the other connectors that we have down here. Next up, let's work with the CarPlay module, the set-top box. The set-top box, we're gonna install it and it's gonna rest in this area right here. So there's plenty of space for it right here. But now let's go ahead and work on these connections. So first thing, let's find the mic cable. Connect the mic cable to this connector right here. Don't worry about this connector, we don't use it in this car. Next is the CarPlay USB cable. This guy will connect to right here. Next is the iPod harness. iPod harness is going to connect right here. Next is UART. UART is going to come off of this connector right here. UART will connect right here. Next, I would connect the LVDS cable. LVDS is going to come from here. Next is sub data cable. That connects right here. And now we have these two power cables. The 6-pin will connect here. And finally, this one will connect right here. You see me tugging on the cables, make sure they're properly connected. And that's it. Let's go ahead and clean up these cables right here. I'm gonna leave this one out of it so we have enough room to pull that through. We have to. Let's see here. I'm gonna tuck these cables back down through here so they're out of our way when we push the radio back in. Now with everything connected, let's go ahead and push the radio back into place and mount the CarPlay set-top box. So the radio will fit in through these two tabs right here. There we go. Put two screws on. That's one, two, Then we have 2 down here. Whoops. And now let's go ahead and push this module back into place. Let me undo that one screw. These harnesses actually route them back through here. I forgot about these guys. And one more right here. The module will go right here. And with that done, we should be able to get ready to reposition all of the panels again. Let's go ahead and put all of the panels back together. We'll remove this. We don't need that anymore. This panel will go back into this place. That. Now that CarPlay is installed, let's go ahead and do a quick test. Make sure touchscreen is working on the OEM side. Great. Audio's off. We can turn it back on.
You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa.
Great. So go ahead and connect your phone. I'm using Apple, so I'm gonna use the Apple cable. This is aftermarket cable actually. This one works okay, but I recommend that we use the lightning cable. Recommend to the customers, we must always use the lightning cable. I installed the USB port right here. So go ahead and connect to that. And then the other end, go ahead and connect to your phone. And as soon as you connect, the screen will switch, it will charge, the Apple will show up on the display, And then it says here, allow CarPlay while while phone is locked. This is a privacy question. It's up to you how you want to answer this. I would press allow. And second question is if you want to use wireless CarPlay. This question is important. This is where the customer can determine whether they want to enable the wireless function, or if they plan to use wired, then they'll press USB only. As a manufacturer, we always recommend wired, but today for testing purposes, I'm gonna try out the wireless. Wireless works just fine as well. If the customer and you select the wireless option, leave your phone connected for about 2 to 3 minutes. In the meanwhile, let's go ahead and test some functions. Test the touchscreen. This is how you navigate through the CarPlay. To switch back and forth between INFINITI and the CarPlay, press and hold the back button right here. Press and hold. Also over here, the back button right here. Press and hold. Press and hold. So 2 ways to switch. Audio is playing through that little speaker. That's fine. That's because we're in FM mode. So if you want CarPlay audio to play through the car speakers, press on the back. Go to audio. And then look for iPod. It's probably going to be under source. And press on iPod. When you've selected iPod, now you'll be able to hear CarPlay audio through the car speakers. Let's switch back. You can control the volume through here. You can control the volume through here. You can switch tracks. Let's try here. Track function on the steering wheel is not enabled. That's okay, that's normal. We'll be able to switch tracks from the touchscreen or through here. So instead of using this, we'd be able to use this right here. Alright, let's test the backup camera function. This car has 360 camera. It will show up when you put it in reverse. Put it back into park. It will go back to CarPlay screen again. Let's test Siri. Siri, press and hold this button right here. Hey Siri, take me to the nearest gas station.
The closest one I see is 76 on College Boulevard. Does that one sound good?
Never mind.
Okay.
So that's one Siri function. We can also use Siri to make calls. We actually recommend that you use Siri to make outbound calls. So press and hold this button right here. If your phone's not paired to the original Bluetooth, make sure it is. So I'm going to switch back and quickly test that. I'll go to setting, Bluetooth, connect device, add new phone. And then I'll go to Bluetooth on my phone. I'll wait for it to show up. It's gonna be device name QX80 exclamation mark. Sure, allow, that's fine. Okay. Let's test a quick phone call. I can see that my phone is now paired to the original Bluetooth. Let's switch back and let's make a call. Hey Siri, call 714-258-0400.
Calling 714-258-0400.
And you can just check, you don't have to, but you'll check on audio and you'll notice it's already going through the original Bluetooth.
Thank you for calling UNAVI. How may I help you?
Hey, I'm just making a quick test call. Can you call me right back, please?
Sure.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. So to make calls, make them through Bluetooth. Use Siri over here on this menu button. And to answer calls, you must press on the answer button right here on the steering wheel. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So just to show you, you press on audio and it's still going through the Bluetooth. So we must use the original Bluetooth for phone calls. That's it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. So just to reiterate, phone calls, making phone calls, use Siri here, and then to answer phone calls, answer through this button over here. I think that's pretty much it. Let's go through some settings in here. There's really not much. If you wanted to access the back end of it, press here. It's ready for Apple and it's ready for Android. Really nothing much to mess over here on the settings side. Don't mess with anything over here. If you wanted to reset your connection, well, first of all, before I do that, let's test the wireless function. When you disconnect, it will go back to the original CarPlay main menu. And then wireless will connect automatically. You'll see the little icon appear here in the top right hand corner. And now we're wireless. Okay, let's reset our connections. Let's unpair our phone from the CarPlay. So press on INFINITI, go to settings, go to information, and then press on reset. Reset here will have CarPlay forget about all wireless connections. That's normal, it's just the screen losing memory. It's rebooting. And now on your phone, go to settings, go to general, go to CarPlay, go to CarPlay, and then press on forget this car. So now your phone has forgotten about the CarPlay and the CarPlay has forgotten about all paired phones. Delete your phone from the original Bluetooth menu, and now you can deliver the car back to the customer.